Hi everyone! I am Adelaide Sinahon and today I am going to read a short story entitled Pork Empanada written by Tony Perez. After that, I will discuss the background of its author and together, let's identify the story's elements of fiction. So, without further ado, let's begin! Pork Empanada by Tony Perez. Do you go to Katipunan often? You've probably seen Frankie's Steaks and Burgers, besides the new cravings near Lily of the Valley Beauty and Grooming Salon. This small restaurant is known for its tenderloin steaks, T-bone and spare ribs, Hawaiian and Salisbury steaks, Torones de Casuy Yema, Espasol, and other delicious dishes. But there is one specialty at Frankie's Steaks and Burgers, and that is their pork empanada, which sells for 10 pesos and 50 centavos. If you've seen it, you've probably seen Bototoy. Bototoy is 6 years old, a happy child, and you always see him wearing a t-shirt, shorts, and happy feet sandals that are always faded and too big for him because they're hand-me-downs from his older siblings. To save money, Bototoy decided to be a watch-your-car boy in front of the Frankie's Steaks and Burgers. On a slow day, he sits from day to night on a concrete island in front of Frankie's Steaks and Burgers. Now, do you remember him? Bototoy has 11 brothers and sisters. Bototoy and the youngest child, Nining, aren't going to school yet because of poverty. His father works as a maintenance man at Ateneo Grade School, and his mother is an herbalist. Bototoy's favorite sister is Nining. No matter how small his income is, he always brings her home with even a piece of candy.
What will you bring me tomorrow, Kuya? I would say it's a surprise.
Lots of different candies?
Lots. If I can make a lot of money, then I can buy a lot of candies.
Kuya, where will you get the money?
On Katipunan, that's where I work.
Where Papa works?
No, even farther than that. You have to cross the streets. One of these days, if you like, you can come with me.
Yay! I like to, Kuya! Once, while working, Bototoy heard someone talking about the pork empanada bought at the Frankie's Steaks and Burgers. How delicious it is! That's why Bototoy dreamed that one day he could also buy a pork empanada.
If I get rich, I will eat pork empanada too.
He only earned 3 pesos and 40 centavos from watching the vehicles, but he still did not forget to buy a pasalubong for Nining, and he dropped the rest of his earnings in the can of Lego sardines.
I'm saving money, Nining. If I have a lot of money, we can buy pork empanadas. They're very delicious.
Like roasted pig, Kuya?
More delicious than that. Rich people eat it.
On my birthday, Kuya?
Yes, when I have a lot of money, we will go there and we will buy pork empanada.
As the days passed, the sardine can was half filled with coins, and its contents increased. When Bototoy counted his coins, he had 21 pesos, enough to buy a meat pie, each for his sister and for himself. The next day, Nining put her only proper dress and went with Bototoy. Meanwhile, let's have a short digression. If you're often on Katipunan and you've seen Frankie's Steaks and Burgers, and if you've tasted Frankie's special pork empanada, then you've probably seen the waitress frequently assigned to the aluminum takeout window. That morning, the waitress had woken up in a slightly deranged state of mind. The previous week, the owner scolded the waitress for being careless and suggested that she had stolen 2 meat pies, even though she had nothing to do with it. That day, the waitress noticed that she had run out of receipts, so she immediately took a new receipt from the drawer under the pork empanada container. She picked up the receipt, and here she noticed the 2 pork empanadas they were looking for, still wrapped in a wax paper, but already going stale. The waitress felt a great annoyance. She remembered the hurtful words uttered by the owner of the restaurant and the suggestion that she had stolen the 2 pork empanadas. She also felt a dark sort of glee, the glee of revenge and victory. A few minutes later, Bototoy and Nining arrived.
2 meat pies, please.
And in her dark glee, the waitress took the 21 pesos that the child handed her, secretly stashed it in her pocket, and handed him the 2 stale pork empanadas. Bototoy happily took the 2 pork empanadas he bought. They sat side by side. Bototoy boasted to his younger siblings that that was the place where he worked. Nining was amazed at the environment. They opened the pork empanada wrapper together.
Eat the crust, Nining. It's crispy.
It's delicious, Kuya.
Delicious.
Title and the author's background. Once again, this short story is entitled Pork Empanada, written by Tony Perez. Tony Perez was born on the 31st of March 1951 in San Fernando, Pampanga. He is a Filipino playwright, novelist, and visual artist with an MA degree in religious studies, an MA candidacy in clinical psychology, and an AB in communication. This short story, Pork Empanada, was from his story collection Eros Thanatos and was published in Cubao Cacho Publishing House in the year of 1994. It was written in Filipino and was later translated by an editor and fiction writer, Jessica Zafra, into the English version. Among his works are the tatlong paglalakbay trilogy, Oktubre, Noong Tayo'y Nagmamahalan Pa, Noong Akala Mo'y Mahal Kita, the musicals Florante at Laura, at Sa Pugad ng Adarna, and Anvil's transpersonal psychology series, which includes The Calling, a transpersonal adventure, Mga Panibagong Kulam, and Mga Panibagong Tawas. After having more than 40 books published in the Philippines, he is devoting the rest of his life to posting his new and forthcoming books in cyberspace. They can be accessed through his main blog site, www.tonyperezphilippines.blogspot.com. Now, let's proceed to the Pork Empanada's elements of fiction. Settings and atmosphere. The story Pork Empanada took place at Katipunan Avenue, which is where Frankie's Steaks and Burger is located. They are known for their delicious foods like tenderloin steaks, T-bone, spare ribs, Hawaiian and Salisbury steaks, Torones de Casuy Yema, Espasol, and their specialty, the meat pie or the pork empanada. This story makes the readers feel the bittersweet reality of life. Characters. Bototoy. Bototoy is a happy 6-year-old kid who works to be a watch-your-car boy in front of the Frankie's Steaks and Burger. Bototoy was a hard-working kid and was eager to reach his goals, which is to buy the famous pork empanada to celebrate his younger sister's birthday. Nining. Nining is the youngest child of the family. She is Bototoy's favorite sibling. Plot. Set in the bustling intersection of Katipunan, Quezon City, the story revolves around Bototoy, one of those watch-your-car boys in the fast food parking lots. The boy's territory is one at Frankie's Steaks and Burgers, but it is the takeout counter that sells special empanada that he set his eyes on during the lull moments of his day. The counter sells pork empanada at 10 pesos and 50 centavos, and each time Bototoy sees the faces of the people eating the empanada, he thinks that it must be the most delicious food in the world. He swears that with the trickle of the coins he gets from sponging cars, with enough money, he can buy 2 of the pork buns, 1 each for his sister and himself. Although wealth doesn't come for him, the day arrives when he can buy 2 buns. On their way to Frankie's, the story shifts into the ongoings inside the store. Here, the owner is giving a crew member severe scolding after an accounting of the day's sales reveals that she is 21 pesos short. When she begins work, she finds a couple of buns, spoiled and rotten under the shelf. At this time, Bototoy and his sisters knock and ask for pork empanadas. The teary-eyed counter lady packs the nasty buns and hands them to the 2 kids. At the corner in Katipunan, Bototoy and his little sister, Nining, eat the stale pork empanadas. Theme. The central message of the story is about contentment over little things. In this story, there are many instances where the theme was depicted, such as Bototoy being contented with his small earnings, Nining being happy for his older brother's cheap treats, and many others. Point of view. The story is narrated in a third person's point of view because the author is narrating a story about the characters, referring to them by name or using the third person pronouns he, she, and they. Style. The author writes this story in a narrative style of writing. Narrative writing is used in almost every longer piece of writing, whether fiction or non-fiction. When a story is written in a narrative style, the author is not just trying to impart information. They are trying to construct and communicate a story complete with characters, conflict, and settings. Symbolism. The pork empanada symbolizes a person's life goals and aspirations. Just like Bototoy striving so hard to earn enough money to buy pork empanada, the story also tells us that we should work hard and persevere in order to achieve our dreams and goals in life. It also serves as a reminder that no matter how hard life may become, we must continue moving forward because all of our efforts, hardships, and sufferings will be worth it in the end. Here are the references. And that's all for today. Once again, I'm Adelie Faith Sinahon, and thank you for listening.